Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Sunny Bourne. Today I will be talking about the physical and virtual spaces in my station rotation model classroom. I am very excited to show you my presentation and give all of my ideas for my station rotation model in my classroom and explain how it would work. Without further ado, we need to go through some of the background knowledge before I can show you how my classroom will work. The first thing that I need to address is the rally cry. Why am I using the station rotation, or how can blended learning really improve my students' learning experience? In my traditional classroom, it was very difficult for me to accurately differentiate for every single student. I want to be able to meet all learning styles and interests of the students. I believe that with the station rotation model, I will be able to teach all students the soft skills to be successful in life, and I will be able to differentiate for every single student's academic level, interest, and learning style. Now that I have addressed my problem to be solved, I need to discuss how I will make my classroom be successful. And I believe the way to make my class be successful is to interact with my colleagues and get their feedback and ideas. I will build a heavyweight team that will be made up of a few different individuals within our school and within our district. So, for example, I could have 4 core classroom teachers. These could be any secondary teacher that would like to help out and participate and give feedback and ideas to strengthen my model. I picked the largest amount of core teachers because currently I teach social studies for 7th and 8th grade. So I am seeing those students in that environment. However, I think it is also very, very important that I get the input and have at least 2 elective educators also on my team. They see student strengths outside of the classroom, and they can give great feedback and insight about certain students and how they can be successful. Also, of course, I would like at least 1 special educator to be a part of the team because they differentiate most of the time for our students, or we work together to differentiate together to help those students be successful. I would either ask for volunteers, or I would personally go ask some of our educators if they would like to participate and be on my team. I also think it's important to get some feedback of individuals who maybe are a little bit weary of the station rotation model and blended learning altogether. I think their feedback is just as important as the individuals that are very supportive and are excited to integrate blended learning into our classrooms. In the station rotation model, there is a teacher responsibility and a student responsibility. Right now, I am going to be talking about the student responsibility. In my station rotation model, I believe that we need to allow students to drive their own learning. So they are going to do hands-on activities, they are going to drive their learning and put the interest into my class and really dive deep and take responsibility for their learning. This is the biggest thing I am excited for. Sometimes we don't have enough time in the day to allow students to do this. With the station rotation model, this will allow students to have a set out time and a carved out time to be able to drive their own learning. The second responsibility that students will have to take when the station rotation model is implemented into my classroom is advocating for their success. So allowing me as an educator to give them feedback and them to give me feedback as an educator. They will also be able to give peer feedback, and the station rotation model helps and allows students to have a higher rate of student interaction. Also with student interaction, I think it should be integrated, at least into my 8th grade class, of students having the responsibility to mentor younger students or mentor a buddy in the middle school. I think this would be a great way to show how to create positive peer interactions. That is my next item, positive peer interactions within my classroom. That is my number one student responsibility, because relationships are everything in the world, and students need to understand and learn how to have positive peer interactions, even if they disagree with one of their peers. Of course, students will have many more responsibilities and expectations. However, I would like to talk more about on my side of my station rotation model. As a station rotation educator, I believe that I should be facilitating learning. So I am setting up all of the activities. I am making sure that the activities are going to go in order and are going to work. However, I am allowing students to drive their own learning. This, I believe, will be one of the most difficult things for many educators to do, because in my traditional classroom, I am the educator. I give my students notes, I give them information, we are actively sometimes working together, or maybe I am just giving them information. However, it is my 3rd year, and I would like to transition into more of a facilitator of learning. Another responsibility for myself as an educator is to provide clarity. So students, of course, are going to run into roadblocks. I'm going to help them problem solve through those roadblocks, and I'm going to give them some clarity, maybe on questions or content that they do not understand. And last but not least, and the most important thing, I believe that my job is to be a cheerleader and the biggest supporter of my students. I am here to give them confidence, I am here to encourage them, and I am here to support them when they fail. I believe that students care when their teacher cares about them. I actually had a student come up to me recently that said, "I stayed out of trouble this week because of you." And that's really impactful, and that's what, as an educator, we should be doing. So we are really creating those relationships and really helping students be successful within the learning. All right, so now that I talked about maybe what my role is as an educator, I need to show you how I would set up my room in the station rotation model. So currently I have a pretty small room. However, I believe if I readjust it and maybe take some items out, I believe I can have a cohesive station rotation classroom. So on the left-hand side, there will be approximately 8 desks. It depends on the size of the room. I could always put more or less depending on my class sizes each year. In the next slide, I will talk about what is going on at each station or location in my classroom. The next station with the couches and the stools is a flexible seating area for my students. I also would love to have tables in my classroom. So right now I have 4 tables pushed together, making 2 big tables. If applicable, I could put more tables in there, move them around, reposition them. This is just kind of a fluid room design. I believe that it's important to kind of switch things up, so these could all be shifted around. And then the last station is more of a teacher-driven station. They would be in a square or a circle, or maybe even just circle tables. However, I believe that maybe it could be in a semi-square shape. I think this could be cohesive. All students would be able to view either the whiteboard or view the activities that we are doing in the middle. So let's discuss how each section will be used. The desk station will be used as an independent Chromebook station. Currently at our school, we have one-to-one technology. However, with this station rotation model, I believe that maybe technology will not be used every single day and every single station. However, it is nice when students have one-to-one technology because then we do not have to share and they get their own devices and all of the other great things that come with one-to-one technology. The collaborative workstation will really be a station where they are working through as a group to come up with solutions, problem solve. Maybe they're annotating their work, they are creating discussions, and really diving in with that peer interaction. If we move to the tables, this will be the project-based learning station. Students will be either independently on some projects or either in small groups or in groups of 4. They will be working on a project for each unit. So for example, in my world geography class, they will be working on a project-based learning about a specific country using information that they have researched about that country. They will create a postcard and they will create an item that they are proud of. Other projects might be community service projects, so that might be a small group project. And then the last station will be a teacher-led station. This will be a station that I can either review material if students have questions, I can have quick check-ins, we can do peer mentoring, or I can mentor students during this time. This is just really a check-in period. I believe that the station rotation model and the physical setup of my classroom will allow students to be successful, and I believe that I will be able to differentiate for every single student. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know.